We are starting off a new week. Hopefully everybody is having a very happy new year so far. We're having a great new year, great 2026 so far. I'm wearing the jacket that Ashley got me for Christmas. I showed it in, it would have been, I guess, in last week's haul, I guess, what we got for Christmas. I'm not sure when I showed, or maybe the week before. The past 2 weeks, so if you missed it, I showed this jacket. I've wanted one for a while, and we are supposed to, this week, we're supposed to have some unseasonably warm weather.
Yeah, like upper 50s.
Yes. So, I'm excited, and I haven't told Kevin this, but later on this week, when it gets that warm, I think we should have like cheeseburgers for dinner or something. I think, yeah.
I'm always willing to cook out.
Always, yeah. Kevin's always willing to cook out, but we haven't had cheeseburgers at home in a while. And I thought, ooh, it's getting like, I think one day it's supposed to get to
62 or something.
Yeah, that's the day we need to have the cheeseburgers. That'll be really fun. And it's kind of just like it almost seems like a holiday because it's in the middle of January. Now, my birthday's at the end of the month. And by then,
icy and snowy.
Yes, by then it'll be ice and snow. Won't be able to go anywhere or do anything, and that's just what happens every single year on my birthday. But I mean, that's okay. It's not any big deal. I'm definitely, if we've had years before where we haven't done anything, and I mean that's fine. I'm not one of these that has to celebrate the whole month or anything like that. But I found what I thought was a fun, interesting subject that I thought Kevin and I could talk about. We're on our way to Lexington, which is a larger town than where we live, and they have so much more in Lexington. So we have a lot in our town, but they have more. They just have more, period. And it's more of what...
10 times bigger.
It's more of what we like, too. And so... we just always drive over here whenever we're wanting to run around to stores or something like that. So what was the subject?
What could you find in most kitchens before the 1980s that you won't find today?
Yeah, now the 1980s.
Wasn't that long ago.
That doesn't seem...
It doesn't seem like that long ago.
It doesn't seem like that long ago. But
yeah, you realize that was 45 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
That was 45 years ago.
Exactly. Somebody left me a comment that said, I did a recipe video, and the recipe was, I'm just going to give this I'm pretty sure this was the date. The recipe was like from 1992 or 93, and the person commented, my mom was born that year. And I was like, oh my gosh, because that just seems like a baby to me.
Well, if you think about it, Andrew's got 3 of them, and he was born just slightly before that.
I know. Andrew was born in 89.
That's crazy.
And yes, it is. Yes, it's nuts. So it's like, you just don't think about it, and you realize that the older you get, and your mind doesn't change. You still feel the same way you felt when you were in your teens or your early 20s. Your mind doesn't all of a sudden think like an old person or think like an elderly person. Your mind still thinks that you can do all the things and bend all the ways and all the things, and it's just little slight changes throughout the year. So anyway, it's amazing. So what was around in kitchens before the 80s that wouldn't be around today?
Yeah.
Okay, so
one of them is kitchen canisters. I think those are still around, but in a different format.
Okay, tell me what you're thinking.
Okay, now we used to have the metal, just like metal tins, basically, that you would get cookies in.
Yes, ours were round.
Yeah, and sometimes you get them square.
Mom and Dad had
and they were usually decorated with bread or
they said flour, sugar, coffee,
and tea or something.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Those don't really exist anymore. Nowadays, it's just the clear containers that people take them out of the package and put them in a different package. And we've always been like, why would you repackage them? It's already in a package, like spaghetti. Let's take the spaghetti out of the box. It's already in it. Put it in a clear container because why not?
Well,
but I think that's the modern day container, the canisters.
Is what?
Is the plastic things.
Oh, the Rubbermaid. Okay.
Yeah.
So, tea, I don't see any point in taking Louisiana tea or out of the box.
Although we used to.
We used to, but I don't now. Like if I bought a box of Louisiana tea or Lipton tea, I would just leave the box up in the cabinet. Same thing goes for, the coffee. We only use the Keurig, but if I bought a can of Maxwell House, I would leave it in there and put a scoop in there these days and scoop it right out of there. But we used to put it in a canister. Now, the two that we do still put we put them in a clear Rubbermaid container is our flour and sugar. And that's because those don't seal.
Yeah, you can't just leave those in the bag. That I agree with.
Yeah,
Some things are silly.
Yeah, they don't seal. So why wouldn't you put them in a... But
they're also in the cabinet. They're not sitting on the countertop. The canisters that they're talking about used to sit just on the countertop.
I wonder if Jennifer has canisters on her countertop.
Maybe. I'm sure they're still around. It's just not.
And some people, probably still use them all the time. Yeah. We just decided to get rid of them because, they got to the point where they kind of looked rusty on the bottom and stuff. And so...
They don't seal very well either.
Yeah.
They just kind of...
they don't seal as well as like a Rubbermaid container. Yeah.
An ashtray.
Ashtrays. Okay, so that's going to all depend on if you smoke or not.
Yeah. I can tell you one thing: it's not seen in a kitchen. It's definitely changed since the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
What?
Kids making ashtrays in school. I remember making in like art class. When you're learning about clay and pottery, you're talking about elementary school, literally making an ashtray. My mom and dad didn't even smoke, and I made an ashtray. I mean, that's what you did. You made an ashtray.
Right.
Because it was easy. You made a flat with a little lip around the edge. You poked some divots in it, and,
Right. Well, that's true. I know that if I saw a picture of the ashtrays we had, then it'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that ashtray. But right now in my mind, I can't necessarily remember what the ashtrays look like. I did that a couple weeks ago. I was looking at an old picture from when I was a kid, and I saw this coffee mug, and I thought, I remember that coffee mug. I hadn't seen that coffee mug. I'm sure it just got broken, but I hadn't seen that coffee mug, and it's in that picture, and I thought, how cool to see that coffee mug after all these years. But I'm sure the ashtrays would be the same thing. I remember Mom and Dad had two great big glass green ashtrays. Well, Jennifer got them, and I know one of them got broken because it was an accident, but I won't call out who did it, but one of the kids, not Jesse or Sydney, but one of the grandkids accidentally broke it, and she was like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's, there's nothing you can do about it.
You won't be able to find them
again. But they were great big glass,
they were huge
green ashtrays that you put on a coffee table.
Yeah, they were massive.
And but anyway, we don't smoke, so we don't have ashtrays.
You don't see those on the table at McDonald's anymore either.
No.
Or Hardee's or wherever.
The little tins.
Yeah, the little metal ones.
Yeah.
Matches and a metal box hanging on the wall.
Mom and Dad had those for a while.
Yeah. You might still see those near a fireplace or something like that. Or
your parents had
or maybe a gas stove if you don't.
They weren't in the kitchen, but your parents had
near the stove.
Yes,
near the
fireplace. The stove. Yes.
It was a fireplace, not a stove.
Yes.
Fireplace. So yeah, people still use matches, but why would you use a match over like one of those little electric long lighters where you don't have to get close to it? You can get far away.
I agree.
A phone on the wall, ain't that the truth? We were just talking about this the other day. I was telling Tanya, I said it's funny that how used to when they built houses, they would run the phone lines in a couple of the rooms. Like the master bedroom would usually have a phone line. The kitchen always had a phone line. You might have one somewhere else, but they did that almost when they built. I mean, they did it when they built the house. Like they would run the electricity and they would put a phone line in. Nowadays, of course, I don't have a new house, but
But
I would not think that they would hardwire phones in nowadays.
You wouldn't think Bell South probably lost a lot of money.
Yeah, AT&T
or whoever.
Yeah,
they probably lost a lot of business, a lot of money. I think too, when I think about like cable and stuff like that, cable TV, when all these other streaming platforms came in,
where you get over the internet.
Yeah, they really lost a lot of money.
Well, that's why they push the internet so hard.
Right.
Buy our internet TV packages. We don't care about all the other stuff, but we want the internet.
Right. But in our old house, we had a phone hanging on the wall when you walked in, and we had an answering machine and all that stuff. But yeah, we had a phone hanging on the wall.
Yeah, with a super long, twisty cord.
Yes.
Where you could take it halfway down the hall.
You could stretch all the way across the house. And that's what you wanted it to do. You wanted to be able to, because you didn't have a cell phone. So you wanted that cord to stretch from one end of the house to the other while you were doing stuff.
Yeah, Andrew would get in his bedroom and close his door.
And close the door.
And have the cord underneath the door.
Yes, he did.
A bread box.
Okay. I thought when I saw this answer, Christina has her grandmother's bread box, and it is a treasure to her. Now, it's only a treasure to her because it is a monster. It is a metal. It's a huge, massive metal, and it's green. It's like Oscar the Grouch green, and it takes up like a whole section of counter space. But now, she treasures that because that was her grandmother's, and she'll keep it forever. And it seems like when you open it, it has like a little shelf in it, doesn't it? Doesn't it have like two levels? Yeah, so I mean, I can understand why she likes it. I don't think they keep bread in it. I think they keep all kinds of stuff in it. But I do not see bread boxes at all. And I did not grow up with a bread box. We never had a bread box growing up.
I don't remember if we did or not. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. I truly don't. I mean, at some point in time, I'm sure we did have a bread box because that was the thing. But I don't remember if we had one when I was older.
Yeah.
A fridge with a little square freezer. Oh, you're talking about a fridge with a freezer inside. Like just a little bitty thing, like the miniature refrigerators have.
Yeah.
Is that what they're talking about?
I guess. I never had anything like that.
No, I've never had anything like that. Even the small refrigerators at the top of the small freezer at the top of the refrigerator is not as common nowadays as you.
Right.
Here's a good one. Metal ice cube trays, especially one with a handle on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. They had, if you've never seen them, you should Google pictures. If you don't know what we're talking about, you should Google some pictures of this stuff. They were metal ice trays, and boy, they would get so cold you couldn't hold them.
You'd have to get oven mitts to hold them.
But there would be a handle on it, and you would, to break it, you had the handle down when you were freezing it, and then when you pulled it out of the freezer, you would pull that handle back, and it would crack that ice open.
Put these things, would move this thing back and forth to crack your ice open.
Yeah, now that's really old. That's older than me.
That's like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Then nowadays they're silicone, they're the pop-out kind, which I don't like because
I don't like the silicone, because I tend to drop half the water in the silicone.
Well, they probably make better ones than we had that actually had like a little, like a metal ring or something around them to hold them stiff. Ours were floppy. Literally, they didn't have anything to hold them up. Now, I called them something different. This is probably the actual word. Charles Chip Tin.
Oh.
We used to call them Charlie's Chips.
Charlie's Chips.
But Charles may be the actual name.
I think they are.
But Charlie's is what we always called them.
Right.
And they were the brown metal chip tins.
Yeah.
And they didn't come in a bag. They literally came in a metal tin.
My parents had them.
And the truck would come and deliver them to your house. It was kind of like
chips.
Well, it was kind of like Swans, but it was just chips and cookies. Huh?
Schwans.
Yeah, it was kind of like them. They deliver food.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, except they would just deliver chips and cookies and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But Dad was a regular delivery person. He would get them once a month, and I remember the guy that delivered them. He would stop and talk to Dad for.
So your
20
dad
minutes.
would make those chips last for a whole month?
No, I think you could make him come more often. I don't remember how often he came. I do know he was there regularly.
Right.
The next one I bet you these are long before the 80s. These are probably more in the 70s. A dishwasher that you roll to the sink and hook up with a hose. And then you had like a little drainage hose that would go into your sink to drain it. My mom and dad had one, but it was in the 70s, or maybe even in the 60s.
My dad bought one for my mom, and it did not last long. She did not. I think it was.
Well, it takes up a lot of space.
I think it was too much trouble.
Yeah, and they're big.
Yes, it was big.
It was like a chest freezer size.
It was big, and it was a lot of trouble. And you literally had to roll it across the floor. I mean, I don't think she had it a month.
Really? My mom and dad had one for a while. It's basically the dishwasher you have underneath your cabinet, that little small thing. This was the size of a small chest freezer. And literally, I remember Mom and Dad had one in their kitchen. They rolled it up right next to the door. And then it had like a wooden top on it, so you could use it as a countertop.
Yes, you could use it. Yes,
that's how big it was. I mean, that's what size we're talking about. But then you had wheels. You would roll it over to the sink, and it had this hose you would stick up on the water faucet, and you turn your water on, and then it had a drain hose that would stick into your sink and would like hook over the edge of the sink. Then you run your dishwasher. It was a great big old drum thing. I think they kept it between where we have that seat, that bench seat. Yeah. I think that's where they had it. Before they put that little shelf in the TV.
Yes, I think that it was between the two cabinets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
When I was with Amy, when she was older, they always had a shelf there with a TV on it and a bunch of just random stuff. Yeah. It was a collection of random junk. Is what it ended up being. This one's funny. A refrigerator was already 40 years old and still worked. The long-lasting refrigerators is something of the past.
Long-lasting appliances.
In general, that's true.
Although, how long have we had our microwave?
Long time.
We've had it for a while.
Very, very long time. Yeah. It probably needs to be replaced, but it still works. So
it's keeping us pickled.
Yeah, that's right. It's slowly cooking us from the inside out, I think. Yeah. But it works. Yeah. Bacon grease in an old coffee can under the kitchen sink next to the comet. You know, we always next to the comet. They still make comet. I just went through a can. Yeah. We always kept our bacon grease in an old coffee can. Yeah. No, I think the joke is you kept your bacon grease under the cabinet next to the
cleaning supplies. Yeah. Yeah.
This person is holding this. Oh no, they're going to turn somewhere, anywhere. They're in the middle of the road right now.
Yeah, right now, both of these people are clueless. I don't know what they're doing. Are they together?
No, they're trying to avoid getting hit by the white car because the white car's driving in the middle of the road.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they have no clue.
She's going to turn. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we're holding up all these people behind us because of these two space cadets here. Okay, and I knew they wanted over the whole time. It's just like getting the right lane to begin with. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
The bacon grease, you were talking about that.
Oh no, I was just saying Kevin and I, we did that as a married couple.
Yeah, we kept it in the fridge though.
Yes, we kept it in the fridge.
Not under the cat.
Yes, that's true. But we always had bacon grease and that's something we don't do anymore.
Yeah. Well, you can buy bacon grease now.
You can.
Clear, it's filtered bacon grease.
And Dad,
so if you want that flavor.
Said it was really good. Yeah. It's called like Bacon Up or something.
Yeah, something like that.
He really liked it. Yeah.
And you can, nothing's better than cooking popcorn in it. Like kernels of popcorn in a pan and bacon grease. Oh, that's some good stuff. Yeah,
that's the best popcorn in bacon grease.
Especially if you just made the bacon yourself.
Yes.
And it's got the little, like the bacon, the stuff that sticks to the bottom.
Yes.
That's kind of floating around.
I want fresh bacon. Fresh bacon grease, yeah.
A hand crank egg beater.
Now, Mom and Dad had one of those.
Yeah.
But they didn't use it. I think it was just one of those things they put on the kitchen wall.
Yeah, you hold the handle and you crank it. And it spins the little beaters. I'm sure there's some people that still have one, but we had one, but I don't know that Mom ever used it.
No, they never.
She always had a hand mixer that I knew growing up. Okay, so the next one, a handheld potato smasher. like the one with the little slots in it.
Yeah.
Like the little mesh thing.
That's not the same one that Ashley has.
She has a ricer.
But Ashley has a ricer, which is handheld, and it takes some effort.
It does.
But Ashley uses a ricer.
Way too much trouble.
Oh, I think it's way too much trouble.
I boil it. I boil my potatoes, put them in a mixer with some butter and some milk, and just mix it, and it works perfectly fine.
No, I agree.
The wooden fork and spoon hanging on the wall, and we're not talking about small ones. We're talking about big ones.
The giant,
like the big salad, the big wooden salad.
They were giant wooden spoons.
That was a decoration.
Yes, I think it seems like somebody maybe in Seinfeld had those. Maybe the mom or the dad, or I don't know, or one of those shows. Everybody Loves Raymond or Seinfeld or somewhere. They went over to their house and they would have those hanging on the wall. It might have been in Everybody Loves Raymond, their parents. But anyway,
I'm pretty sure my parents had one.
They were huge. They were massive.
Yeah. A radio that actually gave real local news, along with a 15-minute time slot for Paul Harvey. I used to like Paul Harvey.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Paul Harvey. My dad would listen to Paul Harvey, and I would listen to it with him, but I liked it. I always enjoyed it.
These days, Kevin has talked about, at least as far as like the traffic guy and the weather person, you've said that they really don't update.
They don't give you much traffic report.
No.
And by the time you hear about it, you're already in the middle of it.
Yes.
Like there's so many times, of course, I haven't driven to work for a long time, but I'd be listening for traffic reports for my way home, and most of the time it's like they wouldn't say anything, or they would give you like 2, but they wouldn't talk about the 10 other places that were backed up. So it's just like, it was weird.
And now Andrew, sometimes when he's on his way home from work, he'll call us and he'll say, what's going on such and such road?
Well, because it's backed up.
Because it's backed up, and either we'll look it up and we'll tell him. Now
I know Waze, which is an app, will tell you if there's an accident, or they'll tell you about slowdowns and construction and stuff like that. Even it doesn't tell you details. It just kind of just says there's a construction in the area or something like that.
And sometimes there was one that we saw on Waze, and it wasn't even there. Yeah. And you couldn't take it off. You couldn't remove it.
No, I tried to.
I know exactly. I remember where it was at, and it's like it's permanently there.
Yeah. Sometimes when you drive up on them, it'll say, is this car still on the side of the road or whatever, and you can say no, and they'll take it off.
Ashley has Waze, and she uses it a lot, and she talks about getting points and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, what good do the points do you? What
I think you buy like little icon pictures or something like that. I don't have a clue.
Okay.
I don't use it enough to know. So,
right.
But yeah, I agree. The radio that actually gave you real local news. All the news now is like, well, it's almost all syndicated stuff from, the big network somewhere in California or New York.
And it's so quick that it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing that's anything important.
It's 10 minutes worth of stupidity.
Yeah.
5 minutes worth of ads and 5 minutes worth of music, and then another 10 or 15 minutes worth of stupidity. That's what it ends up being for most of these morning shows that I listen to.
Yeah.
And I have heard.
Yeah.
You don't, unless you're on AM, and there are some local places too that do local news and stuff, but they're like little snippets, like just throw out something really quick.
Yeah.
An avocado green or harvest gold appliance.
Now, when we first got married and lived in our that townhouse in Winchester,
yes, ugliest thing.
It had that harvest yellow. Is that what they called it?
And I think they had a green something in there too.
Yeah, we had 2 different colors in there.
Yeah.
And I think my aunt, it seems like her whole kitchen was that green color when she lived before she bought a house. She lived in an apartment, and when I was little, and I think everything in that kitchen was green.
I'm thinking that's more, it said before the 80s. I think that was
definitely
60s,
the
70s.
It was the 70s.
And carried over into the 80s.
Yeah, that was definitely the 70s. Yeah.
A linen calendar. I never owned one of these. A linen calendar that would next year become a dish towel.
I know
is it
what
something you hung up?
Yes.
And it had a calendar on it for the year? And
yes.
I don't think we ever had one of those.
No, but my aunt used to make these things, and you can't find them anymore. They don't make them anymore.
Probably because nobody made them anymore.
They were these beaded I don't know that they're not beads. They're sequined. They're sequined calendars. So they were fabric sequined calendars, and it would have the whole year
in one pane,
on one sheet of fabric. And all the dates and there would be like a bird picture at the top or flowers or something, and she would have put all of those sequins on there herself.
Yeah, you sew it. It's a craft kit basically.
Yes, I wish I had kept those. I wish I had kept those, because you cannot buy them now to do them, because I thought, oh, if I can buy one, I'm going to buy one and have Kevin do it for me, and you can't buy them anymore. Now,
well, I mean, they're only good for that year.
They're good for that year, but they're just neat looking, and I wish I had kept all the ones that she made, because she spent a lot of time doing those. But it was almost like people do those diamond dots, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with those diamond dots? It gave her something to do, but then it also gave her a gift to give, so it was really neat.
See, I've thought about doing those diamond things, diamond art, whatever they're called nowadays. I thought about doing one of those before, but it's like, I can only give so many of them to the grandkids.
Because he's bought them before,
you know?
Yeah, he's
and I
done
enjoyed doing them for a while. It's kind of mindless, it literally is a mindless craft.
It keeps your hands busy.
But it keeps your hands busy and something to do. But I don't know what to do with it.
I think if you were to want to give up smoking or something, that would be something good to keep your hands busy. If you're a smoker and you're used to your hands being busy.
That's true. Yep. An electric knife. Boy, everybody in the 70s and 80s had those.
My dad, the only time the electric
most deadliest
knife,
thing in the kitchen.
The only time the electric knife came out was when we were kids, and it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, even then it didn't work very well.
He would get it out, and it was it was clunky, and the cord was thick. And
it's like a Sawzall, but it was for your kitchen.
But he would get it out.
The little blade goes back and forth and saws your turkey. Yeah. You're better off with just a really good sharp knife.
Yes, he was. Turkey. Yes, I think he realized that.
Yeah, but my dad had one too. My dad had all the little gadgets you could buy in the kitchen.
That's probably why you like gadgets.
An electric can opener. I don't think that's true.
I don't either. And do you know how many people left that comment?
Electric can opener?
Kevin, I think that was...
How else are you going to open cans?
I think that was the most popular comment left. I think people use those hand ones now that you turn them. But we have an electric can opener, and I use it. I love it, and I use it all the time.
It's one of those safety cutters that cuts the top of the can off.
I wouldn't have anything else.
No, it's really nice.
So I don't know why all those people said that.
I mean, I know... Admittedly, there's not as many cans nowadays that you have to open like that, but there are cans that need to be opened.
Yeah.
Like that. So I mean, it's not like that era is completely gone.
No, not at all. So it was shocking.
That's
how
weird.
Many people said
so
that.
I wonder if people are not having the electric can openers and saving the space for just a hand crank one that for the few cans they do open.
Probably.
Yeah.
But for us, it doesn't. We have the room.
Yeah.
It doesn't take up but a.
Well, and even the hand crank ones, you can get the electric ones that lay on top and they cut the can.
Mm-hmm.
They're still electric, but that was surprising me.
Yeah.
A memo board with an attached marker was a common sight at the time. Don't forget the little Hallmark calendar appointment book by the phone.
Mom and Dad,
everybody had an address book.
Mom and Dad always had an address book by the phone. Yeah. Always.
We used to when you used to get telephone books, we would write the numbers down in the back. Yeah. And every year you get a new phone book, we'd have to transfer the numbers over to the next phone book.
I used to do that with my address books. But
That's
now
funny.
I don't even have.
On your phone?
I don't have anybody's address or anything.
It's in your phone. What I have is in my phone.
Oh, I just don't have anybody's address. I couldn't tell you anybody's address.
Well, you used to ask me, and it's in my phone.
Oh, okay.
I have to look it up in my phone.
Yeah. If anything happens to Kevin, I'm screwed.
But the memo board, I do know some people that still use a memo board. Like Anna or Christina have one to keep track of lessons they're doing from school and stuff like that.
They do. Dad used to always write everything too on a piece of paper and put it on the refrigerator.
With a magnet.
If he had an appointment or something, he'd put it on the refrigerator.
I bet you don't see that as much anymore either.
You know, I was supposed to go right there.
You were. You can turn it in.
That's
too
okay.
late.
I'll come back. I'll come back. I'll hit
we're
it.
willing to get the next red light.
I'll hit it on. No, I'm saying I'll hit it on the way back home.
I got you.
Yeah, I'll hit it on the way back home.
Anyway, I bet you magnets on refrigerators isn't as popular as it used to be either. Like, I know people still do stick magnets on refrigerators, but it used to be like everybody does that.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays with stainless steel, you really don't want to scratch those stupid things up. They're so expensive.
I think it makes the kitchen cleaner looking with nothing on the refrigerator.
It looks cluttery.
It looks, yes. Yeah. I think it looks cleaner with nothing on there.
I mean, a few is probably okay. But I know my mom and dad used to have 50 of them. We used to have magnets on ours.
Oh, yeah.
Letters and numbers and everything.
So we used to keep the school calendar would come out every year for the kids.
Yep,
so we would have the school calendar on the side of the refrigerator. We also, Kevin made me a countdown, and I could change out the numbers. It would say how many days of school, and then I would change out so we could count down how many days of school were left. And then too, they got a lunch menu, and so I would keep that lunch menu up there.
Yeah, so you would know what they're having.
Yeah, and that was about it.
Yeah, we couldn't. There was magnets on the front of the refrigerator too, because remember the plastic letters and the numbers? We stuck those up there for a little while.
A little while.
Yeah. Not all the time.
Just while they were little. Yeah.
A small TV. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, we had a little bitty TV in our kitchen.
If you don't have a 32-inch TV nowadays, you're what are you doing? Because the smallest TV you can buy nowadays is that big. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny. What was it we were watching you showed me a picture the other day of somebody looking at it, and it was a little bitty screen about this big.
But I had one of those.
A little portable one.
My dad bought me a portable TV for like my, I don't know, maybe my 16th birthday, 15th birthday, something like that. He bought me a portable TV, and the thing is the front of it was only about as wide as big as the side of a shoebox. But if you looked at it from the side, the
really
side
deep.
of it was really deep. Yeah.
That's because it has a tube in there, an electron beam that was shooting. Electron beam.
Yeah, but the front of it
tube.
was only like the side of a shoebox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. It is funny how TVs have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Wallpaper.
Oh.
I think still people have wallpaper.
I think people still have wallpaper, and I think if you spend some money on wallpaper
and get it done professionally,
it can look beautiful.
Yeah, if you get it done professionally, I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
A bread maker.
A bread machine.
Never did work 100%. It did okay.
It did. You made it like cheese. Okay. Kevin would make cheese bread. The whole house would smell wonderful. But then, honestly, you do just as good of a job with your hands.
Yeah, I'm just making bread by hand. It makes it. Well, bread maker, you could just throw all the stuff in there. You didn't have to do anything with it.
Yeah.
It did everything for you. You'd mix it, knead it, and everything. Yeah.
Right. You would hear it making the different noises.
Yeah. Then it would bake it. It would let it rise, and it would bake it and everything.
Oh,
so
it was.
You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, but it was a beast.
It was big.
It took up some space.
I think even the ones they sell now are big.
It was the size of an ice cream machine, of that old school one that we have.
Yeah, that's true. Actual Tupperware brand Tupperware.
Yes, because now everybody has Rubbermaid and stuff like that. Like
Pyrex bowls.
Pyrex bowls, yeah. But there's a lot of plastic storage containers.
Oh yeah, like what is it, Hefty, or I mean, even you can get those at Walmart.
Yes. Yeah. So we last year at Costco, they came out with a really cute set of Tupperware, and it was last year or the year before. And it was pink, it was dark pink, light pink, yellow, really pretty colors like that. So we bought Ashley a box set, and then now this year I saw them again at Christmas. So 2025 Christmas, I saw the box again, but it wasn't those cute colors. It was a different color, but it wasn't like really feminine colors. Right. And so I was glad that we got the box that we got for her. But
more generic, plain colors.
Yeah. So Ashley has a really like Barbie colors. You know?
And it's funny because now she has the struggle of finding the right lid for the right Tupperware, which is always a struggle. When I was a kid.
Yes.
You find the bowl you want to put it in. Now you got to make sure you got the lid that fits the bowl.
Yeah.
So you have to do that before you even use it. You have to make sure you got the fitting lid.
Yeah.
Lazy Susans.
It's funny because your parents always had a lazy
right in the middle
Susan.
of the kitchen table.
Yes. Now
it had a napkin holder and all of Dad's 500 medicines. That's all, and the salt and pepper. I think that's all that was ever on it.
Your dad's 500 medicines.
And his Metamucil and all that other crap he was doing. Yeah,
oh
vitamins and all that stuff.
That makes you want to eat.
And it was about this big around. It was huge.
That's
Do you remember
so
that?
funny. Oh, I remember. But who has a Lazy Susan right now?
I can't think
but it's
about
not
in
her kitchen. It's in her living room. Ashley, Ashley has a huge, like, marble.
Yeah.
It's heavy. That thing is heavy, and she loves it. It is a white marble Lazy
I can't remember
Susan.
why she has that.
She keeps it on her coffee table in her living room, and normally she keeps her candles on top of it because she likes to burn candles. So she'll keep her candles on top of the Lazy Susan. But she fell in love with it, bought it, and she's kept it forever. So that yeah.
Yeah, that's not something you see very often anymore.
My parents didn't have the Lazy Susan, but now they did always have, like you mentioned, a napkin holder. My parents had a wooden napkin holder.
My mom and dad were cheap. They had the clear plastic. It was just set upright and you put your napkins in there when you're at the table.
Yeah.
Chrome tables and chairs. I think chrome anything is not as popular nowadays.
No, but I like the look of those.
It has its place.
In the right house.
Yeah, in the right place, the right house, the right decoration. Yeah, it looks nice. It's very industrial.
Yes.
Very modern.
Yeah.
Big pattern linoleum on the floor. I guess nowadays people are just going for all like wood and
or something that just blends in. Something that blends in.
Something subtle.
You don't see big patterns.
Oh, like green with big swirls, like you've got a big rug in the middle of the
I did a blog post. I did a bunch of blog posts. If you don't know, I have a blog, and it's tammydunn.net. It's linked below, I think. But anyway, back at Christmas, I found a picture of Kevin with his at his granny's house, and she had the same exact kitchen floor that we had, and it was a big pattern. But I posted pictures and all that, so. That was neat. But it was a big one of those big, like, had a lot of orange and brown.
Yellows.
Yeah.
They usually did.
Yeah, really hideous.
That was 70s colors.
Yeah.
Recipe book holders. Like to hold them open or just like a bookshelf?
I guess to hold it open.
I mean, I know they did have the little stands where you would hold the book open.
And I think it just takes up space if you're not using it.
Yeah. Of course, nowadays you don't use books. You just write it on a piece of paper or have the book, but just lay it on the counter. You don't have it. I just
lay it on the counter.
Yeah. A cookie jar.
Oh yeah. Now can I get over?
You're too early. Why are you getting over?
No.
That's a turn.
Is that a turning lane? Okay.
I think.
I know, that's what I'm wondering.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a turn.
We had a cookie jar the whole time that the kids were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And we would put, it seemed like we put Little Debbie's in it.
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
Little Debbie's. Or occasionally we'd get wrapped. They're always individually wrapped stuff. It was never loose cookies.
No, it was never loose cookies. It seems like it was that. Did we do that because Ashley couldn't reach up in the cabinet?
I don't remember.
I'm wondering.
Just a place to put them.
I'm wondering if she couldn't reach up because we always kept those stored above the oven.
Yeah.
That's where we kept the Little Debbie's. So I'm wondering if we kept them in there because she couldn't reach up there and she could reach the cookie jar.
Yeah, I don't remember. I do remember us dumping Little Debbie's in there when we buy them.
Ashley was never one of those kids who their food had to be policed. Never. She
kind of ate what she wanted to, but then she didn't eat a lot of anything. So,
yeah,
like
you
she
didn't have
gorge on candies.
Yeah, like where I would have gorged as a kid.
Totally. I would have eaten a whole pack of Little Debbie's.
She wasn't like that. She's like Mom. She would eat one Hershey Kiss and that would be it.
Yeah, she had a chocolate box that would literally, we would keep little chocolates in there.
We would keep Hershey Kisses.
She would get one and go about her business. That was it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't eat a bunch of them.
I'm telling you, it would have been my mission to finish that.
Oh, I would have. Me too. A metal recipe box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the index cards.
Yeah. Well, just metal in general. You know, they're usually made of
plastic.
Well, or wood, like a shoebox type of material.
Yeah, cardboard.
Cardboard, yeah.
Okay, the next one is a phone book, which we talked about just a minute ago. But wow. I haven't had a phone book in years.
No, and we always kept the phone book by the phone. Mm-hmm. And
we live in a smaller town, so it was really thin.
It was thin.
But boy, in Lexington,
it was thick.
It was that thick.
Oh yeah, I remember my aunt had it, and it was a thick phone book.
Yeah.
But the front of it, you had the white pages, and that gave all the residents' addresses and phone numbers. And then in the back, you had the businesses. Mm-hmm. And for a kid, at least for me, I don't know if Kevin ever did this as a kid, But that was literally fun to me when you got the new phone book in every year, and to flip through all the ads in the back to see who had an ad in the back. That was always fun to me to do. And kids now would probably think that was like paint drying or something.
Do you remember when we were first married and we had a phone and stuff? You had to pay extra to not list your phone in the phone book.
Yeah, to keep it private. Yes,
it was like $3.
You had to
every bill.
It was on every single phone bill. You had to pay extra to keep it out of the phone book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's hilarious.
Yeah, like that was their right to just give out that information.
Yeah, it's my information, not theirs.
You're right.
And it has your address and everything in there. I mean, it had everything.
And you had to pay to make a collect call.
Oh yeah.
And then you had to pay
to call anywhere outside
of your
city.
And then you had to pay to have that. What was it? It was service.
It was a local. They had a local long distance service.
But there was something that we paid for that we could call. Like I could call Aunt Pat. And
yes, that was the local long distance. Okay. So it was a general area. It was just the local area though. It wasn't like we couldn't call Ohio or something.
Yeah.
It was just like Lexington, maybe Louisville. It was like a local places. Right. You couldn't call really far away.
Right.
Yeah. There was a whole different world back then.
Yeah.
A world kids now will never, ever, ever know. It's funny how. I'm sure our grandparents would say the same thing about so many things.
And it's funny because like records have come back and record players have come back, but do I think a phone will ever come back? No,
why
I don't.
Would you?
Right, but now I would have thought that a record wouldn't come back either.
Yeah, but they're still portray the same information. It's still music, and some people like the sound of that music better than digital.
Right.
But a phone is just impractical.
Yeah.
You got it. You're tied to the wall. You really can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I at first was I hated the cell phone.
Do you remember what we had done right before we got rid of our phone lines?
Yeah, we bought two.
We had just bought two new phones.
Brand new. I think they were like Crossley brand. Beautiful phones.
They were nice phones.
Absolutely beautiful.
We had just bought them probably within a month or so.
And then got rid of the phone lines.
Yeah,
we do stupid stuff like that.
Wooden spice racks. Just hanging on the wall.
Your mom had one in a picture.
For years. It had a radio on the bottom of it.
Yes. It had a wooden spice rack. My aunt had a wooden spice rack.
But
she
nowadays,
gave us that rack when we first got married.
I think people put them just in their cabinets now. They have racks, but they're not wooden ones that hang on the wall. They just go in the cabinet.
Something else about a spice rack. It's not a spice rack, but actually, when she got her own place, she bought these like great big, like almost square spice storage containers.
Oh yeah.
And I said, you're gonna regret that. I said, because that's gonna take up half your cabinet. Well, she finally, after all this time, got rid of those, and just has the spices in her cabinet. She said, you were right. She said they were taking up a ton of space.
So you have to pour one container into another.
And I didn't even realize it. Yeah.
Ours is like, it drives me insane, but they're just kind of like stacked all in the cabinet now. We have to pull them all out to figure out what we need and then stack them all back in there. It takes a little time.
Yeah.
Jelly glasses.
Mom and Dad had jelly glasses. Mom and Dad would buy jars of jelly that had the little cartoon characters on the outside, and when the jelly was gone, she would keep the glasses, and they were about this big, and they were cute little. She would usually use them at breakfast.
I have one in my bathroom right now with my toothbrush in it.
You do have one in your bathroom. You know what? You know what? I have one in my bathroom. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I've been looking at that thing. Sometimes you just look at some things for so long.
It blends in.
It blends in. You get used to it. I've got one in my bathroom too.
Yeah. I put my toothbrush in.
Yeah, but you don't see.
No, they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't see them
anymore.
Kool-Aid pitchers.
Well, we have pitchers, but they don't
plastic.
have. They don't have Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, they don't have Kool-Aid.
You don't think people make? Well, they have to make Kool-Aid for kids because they still sell it.
Yeah, I think people have pitchers. I just don't know anybody
Now, when I was a kid, we actually had a glass pitcher shaped like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah,
I never had one of those, but I remember those.
We had one, and it just some way it's gotten broken.
Yeah.
This is one Tammy thought of, a potato bin.
Nobody else had said something you don't see anymore is a potato bin. When Kevin and I got married, Well, it was years after that.
Yeah.
They bought us, Mom and Dad bought us a potato
It
bin.
was literally a wooden box with a little lid that opened up, and you put your potatoes in
and
it.
it had a drawer in
You
the
put your
very
onions
bottom
in.
for onions.
Mhm.
And we used it. We used it all the time. And
It's just a place to put your potatoes because you don't really put potatoes in the refrigerator.
right.
So you either leave them on your counter or you put them in a potato bin.
It was literally
to hide them, basically.
But now I don't have a potato bin, and I don't think Anna or Christina have a potato bin.
Yeah.
My sister may have a potato bin.
Yeah.
She may have one because she keeps things longer than me, and she might have kept hers, and she might very well use hers. But it seems like we forgot about the potatoes at some point.
We did, and they were,
Something started smelling.
They were the onions. Some started rotting.
Yeah, something started
Something turned rotten.
to mush.
Yeah.
And it was because we're where's that coming from?
Once you stained that potato bin, that wood, it just stayed with it for ages. I think that's about when we got rid of it. This is going back. I'm going back to the beginning because these are like the ones that had like descriptions of like people had said what they were replaced by.
Right.
Hand crank egg beaters, which I mentioned, replaced by electric hand mixers. Food mills. I don't know what a food mill is, but are they talking about like a grinder? It said it was used for mashing potatoes or pureeing, now often substituted by blenders or food processors.
Oh, a food mill.
Yeah,
I'd have to look up a picture of
what that looks like.
A food mill.
Hand crank ice cream makers. Now we've got an electric one, but it's not a hand crank. Hand crank, boy, you'd be cranking for wear you out cranking that thing. Can you imagine?
Yeah. I love our old school.
That's what you have children for. At the cookout,
yeah.
you get your kids to crank that thing while you're cooking or something.
Yeah, I love our old school ice cream maker, but I wouldn't have a hand crank one.
No, it'd be awful.
Did your parents have one?
No, I know somebody that did, but I can't think of who it was.
It surprises me that they didn't.
They had an electric one.
I know they did when we got married, but I would have thought they would have.
No,
As
it was
old as
always
they
electric.
are, I thought they would, not to be mean, but I would have thought they would have started out with one.
No, they had an old one, looked like a barrel, a wood barrel.
Oh, okay.
And it was motor on it. But think about it, the one we got, it was from the '60s, so you know, they got married in the '60s. They would have got one when they got married, probably.
Right.
Here's one, and you don't see these very often. If you do, they're crappy. Cookie presses or the guns they used to make the shaped cookies. You would load this tube up with your cookie dough and squeeze this handle, and it would squirt out a star shape or something. But there was you had to like scrape it off the bottom to actually, there's no way to cut it off the bottom unless you took a knife or something like that and cut it.
Now that you say,
They do have them.
You've literally like unlocked a memory of there used to be an infomercial.
Oh yeah.
There was an infomercial of one of those cookie things, and they did a whole thing on
They would go boop, boop, boop. They made it look like they automatically cut the cookie off the end. They did
Yes.
not.
Yeah, there
Unless it was really running.
there was an infomercial.
Yeah. I think those still exist, but you don't see them very often. Nutmeg grinders are manual nut grinders, and usually a specialized tool for spices and stuff. I've never seen anything like that.
No.
A potato smasher, which we've said.
Yeah.
Coffee percolators. Now, they're not talking about a coffee machine. They're talking about a percolator.
Mom and Dad, yes. Mom and Dad, when Mom and Dad were first married, they had a percolator.
Yeah. You would see it bloop up in the little glass thing at the top. Like it was boiling.
Yeah, they had that for years.
Then those were replaced by drip coffee makers, just like a Mr. Coffee or whatever. And now, Keurigs and stuff. Then the coffee presses and all that fancy coffee stuff. Bread boxes, you mentioned that. I wonder if those were used back before they put them in plastic bags and stuff. Like you put them in the boxes to keep them
like you made
fresh.
Your own bread and then you stuck it in the box?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Electric knives, coal pails and pokers. Of course, you don't have those because you don't have coal fireplaces and stuff anymore.
No.
Jell-o molds. Do you remember Jell-o jigglers?
Yes.
And Jell-o molds. First of all, my mom had one that was shaped like a lobster, and it's in what's the Golden Girls? Golden Girls has one hanging up. Does not look like a lobster at all if you look at it.
No. Every time you watch the Golden Girls and you look on the
kitchen.
wall, it looks like it's shaped like something phallic.
Yes.
It does not.
Private.
Yes,
items.
it does not. It does not look like a lobster.
No.
But yeah, people used to have those hanging up on the wall.
Well, she didn't hang those on a wall, but she had one, and we would make a lobster jell-o mold occasionally, and she would make a lobster-shaped red jell-o.
Wow. Oh, okay, because she could make it red. I'm thinking, wow,
make it
lobster.
fancy. Yeah, that was a red lobster.
Red lobster.
And usually she would take it to someone's house. She was like, I think you need to be over one. Usually took it over to a relative's house or something.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
church gathering or something.
Right.
Yeah, it was just shaped like you put Jell-O in it.
Yeah.
But Jell-O jigglers was, you made it with Jell-O, and there were these little like plastic molds, and they would make like animals or shapes or whatever, and they were like almost like a gummy, but they were softer than that.
Yeah.
But they were thicker than Jell-O.
I never liked the texture of
I didn't either, because they were kind of rubbery.
Yes.
And I don't even know what you put into them. Maybe it could have just been cornstarch or something.
Do they not make Jell-O jigglers anymore?
I don't think so. Now, Jell-O pudding pop, that's something you don't see anymore.
No. Oh, we could do a whole video on
products.
food.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. There's tons and tons and tons of food.
I used to love those things. Jell-O pudding pops.
Yeah.
I
Those
would
are the
eat like
best.
boxes of them.
It's your turn. So was that all from
That
the
was it.
list?
That was
okay.
all.
Well, that was it. I think that was very fun.
Oh, I'm sure if we sit here and thought about it, we could probably think of 100 others.
We probably could. Or if I asked my dad.
I mean, a washboard, you know.
Oh gosh.
You know.
Or if I asked my dad would like, be like, we never see this.
But
or
it
this.
said the 80s. That's why I wouldn't think like old-timey washboards and stuff.
Exactly.
You're talking about, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was before the 80s,
50s,
definitely.
yeah.
But yeah.
Whatever.
Well, if you can think of anything else that was before the 80s that you used to have in a kitchen and you don't see in a kitchen anymore, please leave us a comment, because I would be very interested, because I thought this was a fun list, and it's fun to kind of reminisce about things that you used to have that you don't have anymore. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week. This looks so good. That's the best burger I've had in a long time.